Well, hello. Yeehaw! We're going to have a rodeo here with them all dang Italian stallions. Let's giddy up and get her done. All right, so here is our Italian stallion rodeo. From top to bottom, we have the Visconti Homo sapiens. We have the Delta Dolce Vita masterpiece. And we have the Aurora 88. Now, I had a decision to make because I want to try and do like to like, but I really can't. This is a medium palladium nib in the Visconti Homo sapiens, which, by the way, they're no longer made with palladium. Down here in this Delta Dolce Vita masterpiece, we have a steel nib with that innovative fusion nib. And the Aurora 88 is an 18 karat gold nib. I briefly considered this Aurora 88, but it's a fine flex nib, and I just thought, no, too different. Hi, editing me here. The white balance is a little off in this. I have figured out the white balance, and I've just unfortunately filmed several videos in a row before I'd figured it out, but it is working now, so I look forward to sharing that, but you won't see it tonight. And why didn't I choose other Italian pens? Well, I had to stop somewhere, so these are what I picked, so just deal with it. I also briefly considered bringing in my Visconti Gold Point, which has a gold nib, but they're no longer made, so I just didn't think it fit with this video. So these are the stallions I'm going with. So let's see how they write. But first, let's take a look at them. So let's turn on an extra light so we can see them. So the Visconti Homo sapiens is made out of lava from Mount Etna. It should have a finial here, but it's held in by magnets, and the magnet quit working within a year of when I bought the flippin' pen. So I have this tiger's eye glued in. Another thing, and I can't really do it right now, but I don't like that this plunger end actually unscrews from the plunger. It has a hook latch system, which I do like very much, except apparently can't operate it when I need to. There we go. Who knows how long it'll last, but I like it. I like the feel of this material in my hand. It kind of warms up as I hold it. Like I said, the nib is palladium, which I don't remember why Visconti was doing that, but it is. Medium. And an ordinary plastic feed. Very comfortable pen. The biggest problem I've had with it, which is why I don't let it out in public anymore, is it burps. So I had the experience a few times of uncapping it and finding a cap full of ink. Oh, yay! So, haven't figured that out. It also doesn't hold as much ink as I thought it would. But it is a vacuum filler, kind of like a Pilot Custom 823, only it doesn't have the safety mechanism where you have to unscrew the valve. My next pen is a Delta Dolce Vita masterpiece with a very attractive acrylic finish. A little bit of a fountain pen nib, which I guess was their branding way back when. Very, very elaborate scroll work. And then down here, what's this? Is that a piston filler? Oh, hell no. Talk about the nib here in a second. Unscrew this bit. And we actually have a, very nice converter, but it is a converter. And I should mention that Delta is out of business, so why I'm not including this pen or the Omas Ogiva, don't know. Don't care, but, I gotta shorten this video somehow. And then the nib is a steel nib with a piece of gold glued on it, so they can call it a fusion nib, and apparently it's cool. And finally, we have the Aurora 88. This is in the Giove finish. This is a piston filler pen. It comes with a nice broad nib. I should do like to like and have a medium nib, but guess what? I got to fund this channel off of my YouTube income, and I don't have the YouTube income to buy a medium nib just to film a video. So we're going to go with a broad. But as I saw, comparing it to a Pilot Custom 823 in another video, it isn't as broad as the Pilot Custom 823. So I think it'll be more like a medium on these guys. So normally I do my layout like this. I'm going to do it slightly differently in this case, just to fit all 3 pens in the same line. So we're going to try this. Who knows, it may all end in tears. And again, the white balance is off this week. I will fix it. I just need some time to experiment. And I wanted to get a bunch of videos saved up, so it's not going to be this week. So my first pen, we're going to run through the Aurora 88. Has a broad nib. And the ink in all 3 is the same, so it's Rohrer and Klingner Blumar. Wetness and flow. Oh. Smear test. Reverse writing, and I'm trying to be quiet a little bit. That actually isn't bad. Did I call that freak nasty before? No, that was a different pen. And the world famous Peer Gustafson test. Which I think it passed with flying colors. So now we'll take a look at the Visconti Homo sapiens. Definitely writes with a wetter line. And it's one of their more popular lines because they've done this in a lot of finishes now. Definitely has more feedback, more flexible than the Aurora 88. Although what I am told is that the palladium nibs, if they spring, they can spring very easily. Okay, and finally, oh, you didn't see the Peer Gustafson test? I apologize. No skips, it did very well. So finally, let's do the Delta Dolce Vita Masterpiece. Has the most feedback of any. And I was right, by the way. These all basically have the same line width, even though the Aurora is a broad. Rohrer and Klingner Blumar. It seems a little wetter than the Aurora 88. Maybe. I don't know. Reverse writing. Not bad. Definitely the best of the 3 of them. And I apologize you didn't see that. Definitely the best of the 3 of them. And finally the world famous Peer Gustafson test. All right, so all 3 are for fun. These are not pens that would disappear in my hand. So which one is the most fun? I am giving the edge to the Visconti Homo sapiens. Where would I put the next 2? Honestly, I like the Aurora 88 better than the Delta Dolce Vita Masterpiece. So there you go. Now let's just quick look at them writing together closely. So I'm going to zoom in for this. Put that on screen just so the camera has something to focus on. Zoom a little more. Maybe not that much. There we go. So I'll go in the same order as I did the 3 pens. So this is the Aurora 88. Vertical stroke. Visconti Homo sapiens, vertical stroke. With a medium nib, by the way. And the Delta Dolce Vita masterpiece with the vertical stroke. We'll do a horizontal stroke with each one. That's interesting. It's narrower than the up and down stroke. Oh, so's that one. Ah, I did it backwards. That was the Delta Dolce Vita. This is the Visconti Homo sapiens. So all 3 of them are not as broad as they are wide. So we'll do one of these dealios so that you know that I screwed up. Okay, just for snorts and giggles, let's do a whatever that's called. All right, so those are the Italian Stallions. And although I'm going to film some more rodeos, I'm going to give this rodeo topic a break for a few weeks and talk about some pens. So I'm feeling slightly horrified by my intro, but we'll go with it. So why did I pick just those pens? I'm not sure, but they just seemed to go together the best. The Omaso Jiva is a beautiful pen, wonderful nib. Not really the same kind of nib as these other pens. And that's why I didn't include it. Why didn't I include my gold point? Again, good pen just didn't seem right to whatever is in my brain about including it. So I didn't include it. So those are my 3 pens. I went in, of course, the Aurora 88 is the sentimental favorite because it's I like the brand because I love the vintage version of that pen. The modern version is not as good as the vintage version. So what you saw, the Visconti Homo sapiens won. And, being honest, it has some faults. I don't like that the ink will just bloop into the cap, and then I've got an inky mess when I uncap the pen once in a while. Hasn't happened in a while, but to be fair, the pen now sits at home like a pampered pet and doesn't go anywhere because it can't control its bladder. Well, I guess Homo sapiens don't have bladders. Some of my vintage pens do, and they hold their bladder better than the Homo sapiens does. So wasn't thrilled with that, but in the relatively quiet life here at home, it seems to be able to handle the environment. As far as writing with it, it's a lot of fun. And, the longer you hold it, it just kind of warms up in your hand. That lava just has a neat feel. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just neat. Neat! So, and then the Delta lost points with me before we even started because of that dumbass fusion nib. Hey, let's glue a piece of gold on it. Then we can call it fusion. What's the gold do? A bunch of pseudo-scientific gobbledygook and doesn't actually do anything. And it's hardly enough gold to be worth the premium you paid for this pen when it was new. I didn't buy it new. There was no way in hell I was going to pay for its price that it was worth new. But I was able to get this one used and for a very significant discount. I kind of wanted a fusion nib for my collection, but like I said, I wasn't going to pay full price for one. Turns out it's a very wet writer, a very good writer. It stands up well against these two, even though it's a steel nib. But in the end, I think it's fair to say that the Visconti Homo sapiens was the winner. So I hope these rodeos were interesting. I am in the process of filming some more, but I've also filmed some reviews of pens. I got to get back to my slim black vintage pens. I've got 2 of them. They're just dying to be shown to you. And I got a big honkin' fat black modern pen that I got to show you. And some other surprises. So, expect some more traditional first impressions for a few weeks. I will say that these rodeos are driving up my viewer numbers, so that's something. And then, but yeah, the rodeos aren't going away because we've got a lot more pens we've got to compare. Because I am scared of the answer, but I want to see how my Parker Dual Fold does against my beloved Pilot Custom 823. We'll find out someday. Soon. Probably in December or late November. Stop talking. It's past 8 o'clock. You're babbling now. So I want to thank you for watching. And if you want some more Italian Stallions, let me know. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.